Click. Okay, let's back up to what did we do yesterday? Lady, you get a point for that. Word problems. Were the word problems hard? No. They're really pretty easy to set up, and life was pretty nice. There is very little left to learn in Chapter 3 before we take an overall Chapter 3 test. Really, 3.1 was the hardest section in Chapter 3. So if you never understood substitution or elimination or graphing, which clearly some of us didn't, then you are in so much trouble because it's only going to get worse from here. Yes, dear. Table 3 out of 1. Table 6 out of 1. Okay. Table 2 out of point. Nope.
Table 1.
Can't. Okay, so yesterday we did word problems. They were pretty easy. Today is a little harder. Again, if you don't understand substitution, elimination, graphing, it's not filling in a click today. You've got to get it together and come see me 0 period. I will be here 0 period tomorrow. Had a meeting this morning. Let's get this math workshop out of the way because we didn't do any yesterday, so we've got to do some today. Got to. If you think you're not on my nerves, you're wrong. You are. Okay, so we've got to do some math workshop today. Who is correct, Stephen or Jade? Okay, where did Stephen go wrong?
B1, he put it on the top, and he should have put it next to the fraction.
Were you going to say the same thing, Travis? You were along the same lines. You and Travis can both have a point, Grace. Okay, Jade is correct. Some people did poorly on their math workshop test, and here's why. It says stuff like explain your reasoning, and just putting Jade is correct is not sufficient. So you got to actually show some math or use more words. But basically, both of them on the second line down had 2a over h, and I'm going to drop the parentheses, so 2a over h, b1 plus b2. They both subtracted b1 from both sides. When they did that, minus b1 equals b2. That makes sense. That's why Jade is correct. Whereas Stephen let the b1 jump into the numerator. So either you need to have math on your paper showing the correct math, or you need to have circled Stephen's mistake and use some words about how he cannot suddenly let b1 jump into the fraction. Math does not work like that. If you weren't part of the fraction before, you don't jump into the fraction now. Okay, are there any questions about this one? We're going to be brave and do some of the top factoring ones tomorrow. So if you were trying to get ahead and get your group some extra points, go ahead and look at, let's say, the top 4. Okay. In your notes, you just showed me, like 5 people just showed me, your page 11 study guide. We're going to be on the page behind that. We're on page 13. It's the page behind the study guide you were most recently supposed to show me. At the top, it says something about systems with 3 variables. Okay. So life got harder as of now. It's especially hard if you've still not figured out elimination. Elimination is my favorite for a reason. We're about to see how handy he is in addition to not just the word problems yesterday, but when there's 3 equations, 3 unknowns, we need him. We need elimination. Before, when we wanted an answer, what kind of answer was I looking for? An ordered pair. Yes, Jessica, you can have a point. So we wanted like an x, y. Now we're going to step it up a notch. We want an x, a y, and a z. You have to have 3 numbers in your answer, or technically you're not done. So if Mason stops at x equals 2 and doesn't have a number for y or z, he's not going to get all his points. You have to have a number for x, a number for y, and a number for z. Now the good news is, like before, math teacher still being nice, you should normally get pretty numbers, like 2, 4, -7. That's fine. If you get a decimal, you've probably done something wrong, or I will warn you in advance, hey, this is a decimal problem. However, if I don't die, goodness, if Andrew does get a decimal, and he can't figure out where he went wrong, he has 2 options in life. He can either ask me, and I'll try to help him figure out where he went wrong. Even on the test, he could ask me, what did I do wrong? See, I got a decimal. I wasn't supposed to. and I can help him. I can help with it, and that's not that ridiculous. Or he can just roll with it. He got x was 3.2, and he rolled with it and gets the value for y and z. As long as he keeps rolling with it or asks me, I can help him. I cannot give points for someone who gets a decimal for x and then just quits. You can't just quit. You got to figure out an option. Okay. So, 3 equations, 3 unknowns. It's going to take time. It's going to be kind of tedious. There is no shorter, well, there is a shorter way, but not by hand. And if you're smart enough to Google the calculator method, that's lovely. You can use it to check yourself. There's no work with math on your paper showing me the steps we're about to do now. There'd be no points. You have to actually show work on this section in order to get points. Okay, so how many times were we using elimination before? Once or twice. Today we're going to do elimination 3 times per problem. 3 times. So needless to say, Mason's got to keep up with his work. So one way to do that, this is how I do it. You don't have to be my twin. It's just a suggestion. I number my equations, 1, 2, and 3. That way when I say elimination 1 and 2, Abby Grace understands. I use elimination with equations 1 and 2. Okay, we're looking at equation 1, 2, and 3. Just like with what is elimination? What do we do with elimination? We kill off a variable. Variable's got to die. 2 and 5. Kill off somebody. We've got to kill off somebody now. So we've got to decide who are we going to kill off? The X's, the Y's, or the Z's? Okay, so let's think it through. We want to go with whatever's easiest, right? So this one has a 5 and a 3. 5 and 3, they don't really multiply well together. Not that one. 3 and 2, those don't go that well either. But that one has a 2. Both of them have a 2. And the top one has a 1. So we can make life super easy. What number should we multiply that top equation by in order to kill off both the middle and the bottom? Negative what? We could multiply by negative 4, but what if I don't multiply by negative 2? Negative 2 and positive 2x, they'll die. Negative 2x, positive 2x, they'll die. And then I'm going to get rid of all my x's. Say what now? No. So let's go through it. So I'm going to use elimination first with equation 1 and 2. But I'm actually going to use our new equation 1 where we multiply by negative 2. First issue in this section is, are you going to keep up with your distribution? So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4y. Negative 2 times z is negative 2z. Negative 2 times 10, again, equals negative 20. If Abby Grace doesn't distribute all the way, she's already made a mistake. She knows she's going to end up with a decimal. And that's one thing that she needs to be careful about. Make sure when you distribute to everybody. Okay, so we were going to multiply equation 1 by negative 2. We're not multiplying equation 2 by anything, so I'm just going to write him down again. 2x minus y plus 3z equals negative 5. Are the x's eliminated? They've got the same number, they're opposite sides. I'm happy. X's are eliminated. What did I write down for the y's? Plus what? Equals what? I didn't hear you 3 or 6, but I heard someone from 1, 2, 4, and 5, so they can add a point. Okay, I get that we're not happy because we're not done. I get that this stinks because it's going to take a few minutes. But seriously, we are happy that the x's die. So we need to do the same kind of thing and make the x's die again. It's like a sequel to a movie. It wasn't nuts to watch Jason the first time. You had to see Jason kill more people. So yes. So when we do elimination, as long as I'm killing off the x's again, because it'd be silly to kill off the z's suddenly. We want to be consistent. We decided we were killing x's. For the love, we're killing x's. But we could use equations 2 and 3, or we can use 1 and 3. Another reason I write this list is so I don't become a blonde. It would be blonde of me if I did 1 and 2 again. I just used equation 1 and 2. Why would I use them again? Okay, equation 1 we had decided to multiply by a negative. So it was negative 2x minus 4y minus 2 z equals negative 20. And I'm not multiplying equation 3 by anything, so I'm just going to write him down again. 2x minus 3y minus 5z equals 27. Okay? Does everyone understand how I got those two? And if I didn't, I could look at my notes. I did my new 1, and I did 3. My x's died. I have negative 7y minus 7z equals 7. And I'm happy because I've made these two new equations, and they only have y's and z's. In fact, I'm going to number those equations. Let's call that equation 4 and that equation 5. So we used our 1, 2s, and 3s, and we ended up making a 4 and a 5. But our new equations only have y's and z's. So we did kill off an entire variable. Now we just got to kill off another variable and we'll be done. So sadly, we're still not done. Okay, so we're going to use elimination for a third time. We're going to use equation 4 and equation 5. I've got to decide, who should I kill off, the y's or the z's? The z's would be easier. What should I multiply that top equation by? Negative 7 or positive 7? It needs to be positive because positive 7z, negative 7z. So we've got to do positive 7. Every group can have a point. So I'm going to do elimination. Again, I'm using 4 and 5. But I've got to be careful and actually distribute. 7 times negative 5 is negative 35. 7 times z is 7z. And then 7 times negative 25, 175? Negative 175? I need someone to check me. Okay. Okay, but my equation 5, we're not multiplying him by anything, so I'm just going to write him down again. He was negative 7y minus 7z equals 7. My z's die off, which I'm happy about. So now, thank God, I only have y's to deal with. Negative 42y equals negative something. 168. Okay, and then when you divide both sides by negative 42, you get y equals what number? Y equals 4. Okay, and you're like, oh my goodness, Miss Compton, we reached a number, yay. And yes, we did reach a number, but we need 3 numbers total. So we have to plug it back in and still find x and z. We found y. We still have to find x and z. Are there any questions about how we got to y? It stinks that we had to do elimination 3 stinking times just to get to y. I get that. I understand your angst. I'm with you. I swear after you do a couple, it gets faster. I'm not promising it gets less tedious. It's really not that hard if you're keeping up with your stuff and you don't make a sign error. I mean, lots of things could go wrong. It helps when the math teacher's doing it versus you doing it on your own. I get that. Okay, so we've got y is 4. Where should we plug that into? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
1.
If we plug that into 1, we're going to run into a mess because we don't know x or z. What equations should we plug it into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3 have x, y, and z. We need to use 4 or 5. 4 and 5 only have y's and z's. I know what y is. It will help me solve z. Okay, let's see. Corbin, you want equation 4 or equation 5? Which one? Okay, equation 5, he said. So I'm going to go to equation 5. It used to be, let me zoom out. I'm going to go to equation 5. It used to be negative 7y minus 7z equals 7. But I just found out that y is actually 4. So I'm going to replace y with 4. So I agree, negative 28 minus 7z equals 7. So you add 28 to both sides. Negative 7z equals 35. So z equals negative 5. So yay, we've got x still missing. We've got y and z. That's terrific. We still need x. Okay, so now we've got to plug it into 1, 2, or 3. Which one of those would be the easiest? 1. Now, if Braden wants to be rebellious and plug it in 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. But he's got to plug it back in somewhere. He's not done until he has 3 values. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know, I have to think it through. So if I go to equation 1, it used to be x plus 2y plus z equals 10. I just found out x, I don't know x. I know that y is 4. I know that z is negative 5. So I've got x plus 8 minus 5 equals 10. X is 7. X plus 3 equals 10. X equals 7. Okay, and I agree. That took a long time, and that was a lot of math. And you should be proud of yourself if you followed all that through. Don't think we are going to spend tomorrow on it as well. We are, because this is hard and we got to spend some time on it. When I grade Corbin's paper, he's trying to make my life easy. I appreciate that. He needs to either he can circle X, Y, and Z the way I box them in, so I know where his numbers are. Or, of course, he could go back to the top or somewhere on his paper and actually list out the ordered pair. So our answer was 7, 4, negative 5. Listing the ordered pair somewhere, or at least boxing in the numbers, would make my life so much easier when I'm trying to figure out what on God's green earth Abby Grace did. And again, if Abby Grace doesn't have to number her equations, but if she's made a mistake, it's easier for me to catch it if I can follow her work. Okay, are there any questions about this one? Then I know that took like 10 minutes to do one problem. Welcome to America. Like, it's going to be fine. It wasn't like we did anything too crazy. There wasn't trig involved or anything. Let's go to number 2. Before we go to number 2, let's pause for a second. Flip over to number 4. Why is number 4 different from 1, 2, and 3? What's different on number 4? I heard it from, I'll give it to everybody. I'll give every group a point for that. I know I heard it from Jessica and Brady, but I heard Landon too, I think. So, the top equation is missing y. He doesn't have a y. So, literally, if Corbin's understanding what's going on, basically he just saved himself a step of elimination. He doesn't have to do, this is already secret equation 4. It's already only got 2 variables. If he could only kill the y's, if he can only kill the y's between these two, then he would have another equation with x and z and he could keep rolling. But if you're a creature of habit, and Miss Compton did elimination 3 times, I have to do eliminate, like, I understand. So if that's you, that's why I'm stopping on this, that's why I'm mentioning this problem now. You could always rewrite that top line to 8x plus 0y minus 6z equals 38. Now, I'm telling you, you're slowing yourself down. But if Drea likes a set pattern and she has to use elimination 3 times, then she can do that. Okay, you will have one homework problem tonight. It is number 3. If you did not show me your word problems from yesterday, the stuff's just going to start stacking up again. You would like to start that second 9 weeks off on a good start. So have you done your word problems, and you need to do this one. And it's going to be okay. I need to see your work to prove it, but it should be a no solution problem. I'm aware that you're going to get no solution. You're supposed to get no solution. But I need to see on your paper the step where you realized, hey, P.S., this is no solution. Okay, so let's go to number 2 so I can leave you to your things. Number 2. I see my 3 equations. And I've got to decide which variable is easiest to kill off, x, y, or z. I feel like a mean person because it's like, which one's easiest to kill? That's kind of how I feel like mean people are when they go out and kill people. Like, which one looks like the easiest target? But yeah, z is the easiest target. X has 5 and 2. That's kind of hard. Y has 3 and 4. That's kind of hard. But z, all I've got to do is multiply this middle equation by 2, and I'm going to have a positive 2 and a negative 2. They'll die. A negative 2 and a positive 2. They'll die. So seriously, just by attacking 2, I'm going to kill off all the z's. Again, I feel like an evil person, but it's okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to use elimination with 1 and 2. I'm not changing 1 at all. I'm going to leave him as 5x plus 3y plus 2z equals 2. I'm going to leave him be. Equation 2 I'm going to mess with. I'm multiplying by 2, so it should be 4x plus 2y minus 2z equals 10. Does everyone understand how I got to here? Okay, and then I'm excited. Why am I excited? The z's die, and I have what plus what plus what? That made me happy. Okay, good. Perfect. Now I'm going to do elimination again. And I'm going to use what two equations? Is it my new number 1? What? This is number 4. I'm using 2 and 3 because 2 is the one that has got the negative guy already. Now, could you use number 1? Actually, you could. But then you got to multiply him by -1 and change all the things. And so if you're trying to do the lazy man's way, the lazy man's way is 2 and 3. But could you do 1 and 3? Absolutely. You'll still get the same answer. I'm sure you do. Go to the next one. Okay. So equation 2 is 4x plus 2y minus 2z equals 10 because I multiplied him by 2. Equation 3, I'm not changing him any. He is x plus 4y plus 2z equals 16. But I'm happy because my z's die. Are there any questions about how I'm eliminating with 2 and 3? These die. I have 5x plus 6y equals 26. And you're like, Miss Compton, we did all this and we still have x's and y's. That's true, but guess what? The z left. And now if we just kill off the x or the y left, we'll be fine. And there is a reason this problem was number 2, and it happens right now. We need to do elimination again. I need to use equation 4 and 5. And on the bottom. Okay, so Abby Grace, we're going to roll with her. She wants to kill off the y's. What's the first number that you can think of that 5 and 6 go into? 30. So that's why Abby Grace is saying the top by -6, the bottom by 5. That'll work, but if you want to be rebellious and do it different than me, why not do multiply the top by -5, bottom by 9, and you'll use -45, positive 45x, and kill off the x's. You're still going to end up doing the same stuff at the end. You do not have to be my twin or Abby Grace's twin. Apparently she used psychic too. -6 times 9 is -54. -6 times 5 is -30. -6 times 12 is -72. So my new equation 4, yes dear, you can. My new equation 4 is -54x minus 30y equals -72. Are there any questions about new equation 4? Because I definitely made a sign error last period, so if that happened, you need to tell me. Okay, well, new equation 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. 25 times 6 is, I don't know. Sounds good. Okay, and then I'm super duper happy now because y's die. I have -29x equals some number. So x ends up equaling what number? It should be -2, right? Is it bad that I know 29 times 2 is 58? I just, one of the things you've done enough math problems, eventually you remember little things. Okay, now I've got a value for x. I'm going to either plug in 4 or 5 and get me a value for y. Which one should I plug in, 4 or 5? Which one? It doesn't matter, but Lyric said 5, so we're going 5. It really doesn't matter. If you want to be different, don't choose 5. So let me do that so you can see all the things. So I'm picking equation 5. It used to be 5x plus 6y equals 26. We just decided, bless you, yes, keep going. We just decided 5x was -2. What number did you say? And keep going. -10 plus 6y equals 26. 6y equals 36, so y equals 6, yes. So we've got a value for x, we've got a value for y, and now we can pick any of the top 3 equations and plug in and get z. But I'm lazy, so which equation am I going to... Which one? Z is -3, but which equation did you choose? Okay, he chose the third one. He is less lazy than me. I'm pretty lazy. Which one am I going to choose? I'm going to choose the second one. It's got the less going on. So I'm going to choose 2. It used to be 2x plus y minus z equals 5. I know x, though. X is -2. So I substitute in -2. I know y is 6. So I've got -4 plus 6 minus z equals 5. What do you end up getting for z? I got -3.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 6, let me zoom in. That's hard to see. So I plugged in my value for x and y. 2 times -2 is -4. Plus 6, so -4 plus 6 is +2. I've got my 5 over here. 5 minus 2, I get 3. Negative z equals -3. I'm going to change everybody's sign. So z equals -3. Yes, dear? Okay, so again, Braden's made my life easier by either circling every single answer he got, or at the top, he could list his ordered pair. -2, -6, -3. It sure would make my life easier. Okay, you have one problem to attack, and you should get stuck on the third elimination. You should get absolutely. There should be no solution. On the third step, when you do your third elimination on number 3, that's when you should get stuck and realize, hey, everybody goes away. This ends up being a no solution problem. I need to see it all the way done until the third step. When you get no solution, that literally means there are 3 lines right now. Those 3 lines did not cross. And that makes sense. There are 3 lines. There's a lot of stuff going on. Of course they don't always cross. So don't freak out. You have one problem to do on your own. It's number 3. You're supposed to get no solution. That is the answer. Okay, are there any questions about this? And those who are still working to try to fix their tests are going to get their chance again now.